I relinquish it to you. You are the better um, what's the word? Source, the better deliverer
Well, I
of that
appreciate that.
bit.
I'll take it. I know that was
Well,
kind of.
I've taken a lot from you. I've taken like 6 bits from you, dude. Really, like the Carson shit is gold. Like without your line, it doesn't work. So like I don't need it. It's all good,
Dude, I like hanging out with you because we come up with a lot of material together.
bro. I
Just
had
in
a
conversation.
conversation. Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay. I had a conversation with this fellow named Thomas. He's a friend of mine, Thomas Hamilton from the Drunk Uncles, and it was so dope because like I have like a bunch of scripts I want to write, but I can't just write them. Like I have an idea, but then I have to get excited, and the excited part, that's I think what we're talking about. Like when you and I, or like I'll have a bit and I'm like, this doesn't work, and I give it to you. Like I talked to Thomas for 40 minutes, and we basically planned out a 40-minute episode of a pilot episode of a series and the entire concept of the arc for us for the whole season,
Did you
and
meet
it was like
Thomas on
effortless
that app,
on that app. Yes, yeah, he's
Clubhouse?
one of my drunks. Yes, I love the drunk
Dude, that was
uncles.
I've never been on Clubhouse, and then you told me to get on it the other day, and we did a table
Holly and
read.
Snow. Yeah, that dude. I'm excited about that script. Like, I'm excited that I don't have to do shit. Like, I just wrote it for someone else, and then either he likes it or he doesn't. And if he does, that's one thing. If he doesn't, it's another thing, and I don't have to worry about it. I love it. Like, I love not producing my own work. Oh God, it's so great. I hate being responsible for everything all the time. It's annoying as fuck.
Well, it sounds like to me that Clubhouse had a pretty integral part in helping you kind of produce a lot of films,
Well, I mean,
or
hopefully. So there's the symphony anthology, the horror anthology, which is um, they're looking for distribution right now, and I'm associated with that. And then Rachel is working on the project with you, Raoul's Night, that I wrote a long fucking time ago. And then the project we just dropped was before Clubhouse, but no one gave a fuck. And now, because I'm gonna panel at Comic Con, like anyone I talk to kind of is like vaguely interested. Oh, you made a movie? Oh, you're gonna? Oh, wow. So like, I thanked
that's me.
one of my
I'm one of the interested
producers.
people. Going,
Well,
oh
the thing is,
wow,
oh wow.
oh wow.
Well, so I invited you already, but like, it looks like we're gonna do like a 2 week trip around Thanksgiving, South San Diego, Central Coast, LA, and then I think Vegas too. So you're welcome to come roll out, dude. I would think that
I
was
would love to, but
fun as
I'll
fuck.
be in Arizona with my family for Thanksgiving.
How long does it take to drive to Arizona? Maybe we could include it.
I'm gonna fly there, dude. I'm gonna
No,
fly there.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. Like we're doing 2 weeks, so I don't know. I don't remember how long the trip to Arizona is. I have to look it up.
Look up Sedona. I'm pretty sure we're going to Sedona. You can hang out with my family.
I've been there.
Okay.
Sedona. I'll put it in the thing.
So to my listeners, this is Warhol Kaufman we're talking to.
Who am I?
This is Warhol, Mr. Warhol Kaufman. He is somebody who I met doing stand up in San Francisco. He is a filmmaker. He has made a movie called Cinder 2. Cinder 2 is like this art house movie. It's like what, 30 minutes long?
It's
I'm going to genre
36
your movie.
minutes.
I'm going to call it.
No, you can. No, I think everything I do is like even when I vomit, it's an art house vomit. You know what I mean?
I mean, my favorite it's my favorite type of movie. It's weird and surreal, and it's there's really good acting, and
Very kind, dude. Very kind.
it's not like some crappy Marvel movie where there's like 100 cuts every second. This is
There's
cinema. Martin
definitely not
Scorsese
a
would
lot of
approve of
cuts.
Cinder 2.
I I wonder. Yeah, it's funny. The original script would have had the film be an hour long, but I cut a lot. of stuff out, so it's not an hour long.
Well,
Oh man,
it's an interesting movie too, because like I know all the people, or I know a lot of the people in it. It's some comedian friends of ours who have really good timing
yeah,
and
we
really
got
good.
Edna Raya, Andrew Gabriel Rose, Barry Graves. Oh God,
Andrew Gabriel Rose, I didn't know, but he had a background in performative dance, and then isn't that featured in the movie? I don't want to give it away or anything, but
he does a little bit of
he
dancing.
busts some moves.
Yeah, he does some buto. Um, so my phone is angry at me, but Luke, I adore you. I'm actually glad that our last recording got uh destroyed like a small mean dog, and we gotta hit the road, bro. We
Yeah,
gotta
we
hit the
gotta
road.
hit the road, dude. I mean, I think we got you. I'm gonna read all the info on how to get to the movie, but
Yeah,
um,
link me,
if
link me to the thing.
yeah, and once I release the podcast, I hopefully I won't destroy this episode too on accident, but
Either way, I like talking to you. We can do it again.
yeah, definitely. You're free to go. I'm gonna read off all the
All right,
info,
I'll
but you're
catch you
free
later.
to go. All right, bye. I love you. All right, that was Warhol Kaufman. He is a filmmaker, like I said, and he has this really interesting movie. And you're probably wondering how do you see this movie? How do I see this movie, Luke? Well, let me tell you. In order to watch Cinder 2, now it's called Cinder 2, but it's not a sequel. It's just kind of like an ironic name. You gotta see this movie though. To see Cinder 2, simply send a suggested $5 to $20 donation to the Venmo at Warhol-Kaufman. That's at Warhol, Warhol dash Kaufman, Kaufman. Just send $5 to $20 to that Venmo, and then from there they will ask for your email address, and you receive the movie Cinder 2, which is really high quality. It's a legit movie. It's not made on like, I don't know, a camcorder. It's a legit film, short film. You get that. You get some other stuff too. You get like some music that Warhol makes. Warhol's been making music since before he had the moniker Warhol. Yeah, his rap name is Young Marks. That's Young as in Carl Young, Marks with the X. You could look up his old. He used to be a rapper when he was a kiddo, but now he's a filmmaker. I recommend his movie. I'm gonna put all this info in the description of this episode. But yeah, I traveled to Nevada City with Warhol last week. We did some comedy. It was really fun, and we talked the whole trip. That guy is a talker. That guy just talks so much. And I came up with all this new material just through these funny conversations with him. He's a great, super interesting, creative guy. So I definitely recommend his movie Cinder 2. And I did delete that. I messed up the episode. We recorded an episode with Warhol and my best friend from childhood, Brandon Powell. We had this whole epic, drunken, hour-long episode, and I messed up the audio on it. I messed up recording it, so I wasn't able to release that because it just sounded so messed up. So we kind of had to recreate it this time without Luke Newman. Sorry, y'all, no Luke Newman on this episode, if you haven't guessed already. But I'm going to bring my childhood friend Brandon back on the episode to go over some stuff we talked about with him. Welcome to the podcast, Brandon.
Glad to be here.
Yes, it's good to have you. As I said earlier on the podcast, we recorded an episode earlier this week that got messed up because I recorded it wrong, so I didn't release that one, which was really upsetting to me. I think it was like I was drinking a lot on that podcast. Maybe that had something to do with how I messed it up. But after that podcast, I went on to continue drinking, and I went to a comedy show or two or three. I went to 3 comedy shows, and I continued drinking, and I got home, and I woke up in the morning, and I was really hungover, and I went up to my laptop and opened up the file, and it was just really messed up. And partly because I was hungover, I was really upset, and I felt so defeated. I felt like maybe I should quit podcasting and quit comedy and quit talking to people and just like move.
I'm honored to be in some small way contribute to all of that.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I don't know. My connection was bad too. I don't know what you mentioned earlier, but yeah, there was a thunderstorm pretty viciously beating the entire building, the entire apartment complex I live in. So I was in and out as well. Kept losing connection and stuff. So I feel like I could have done a better show. So maybe it's like fate.
it was fate. But you know what? As useless as I felt after recording a podcast for no reason, like there was some good things that happened during that episode that got lost. One, you met my co-host Luke Newman, who cannot join us today, unfortunately. But you met him, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna meet him again in person in a few weeks when I come to Austin. And
hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We're gonna hang out with him, and I'm gonna. Do you know what you're gonna be dressed as Halloween?
I don't have a costume per se. I have kind of an ace up my sleeve, like an anti-costume, that I might fall back on.
Good.
But who knows?
Oh, okay. Well, don't spoil it or anything, but
it's not. It's. I mean, I won't spoil it. I won't. But it's underwhelming. But I don't know. I may choose something else. It's a mystery either way to everybody. So.
Well, I am planning as going as Hilary Swank's character in Million Dollar Baby, and you did tell me that you might consider going as a stool, the stool.
Yeah, the biggest heel in that whole movie, dude. That just completely bodies her neck out and just. I mean, spoilers. I don't know
how could you be a stool? Would you just go naked?
I don't know, because I'm not the color of a stool. It's kind of a problematic costume if you like dissect it. I don't know what I would have to. I'd either have to like, maybe I get a shirt with a stool on it, painted on it or printed on it.
Well, the stool.
Or like walk around on all fours.
I think the stool was white in that movie. I think it was painted white.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. It might have been white. That's true.
Which,
but
in
it's
case
wooden.
you could go.
Yeah, I could be a white stool, and I had to walk on all fours.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
I feel like that would be a funny bit, just to be like completely naked at a Halloween party, and then like someone asking you who you are, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a stool."
I'm the stool for $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby. You're just completely naked. Great bit.
I'm pale enough for that.
You wouldn't even have to paint your whole body, maybe.
That's better than the costume I'm teasing. Like.
Okay, you know what? Now I'm kind of dying to know what costume have you been teasing?
It's. Give me 1 second. I might could just show it. It's in my closet right here. I don't know. I might zhuzh it up. Nice cocky little undershirt or something. But I bought this shirt at Ross like 2 years ago, and it just says "I am Tiger Woods" across the chest of a T-shirt that I found for like $4.
It's an Nike brand too.
Yeah, it's a dry fit. It's a super comfortable shirt. So,
that's a pretty good.
I can wear the black hat,
costume.
Black slacks, tuck in the red shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can make that work. That might happen. I don't know if it's gonna be cold though. A lot of factors. What is a what does a Hillary Swank $1 million baby costume consist of
Well,
practically?
I'm gonna be wearing this wife beater. Can you see my wife beater?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see your torso. A good chunk of your torso.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be wearing a wife beater. That's some big important piece of it, because women box with like tank tops.
Hmm.
They're wife beaters in a way.
Yeah.
If they're fighting anybody who is married, which I'm sure happens.
Yeah.
If you're a professional women's boxer, at some point you're gonna fight a married woman.
Yeah.
And
if you win, then that's like wife beater
right,
inception.
right. Because if you lose, then you're wife beated. But if you're married,
You could beat a wife at any competition and be a wife beater. Doesn't have to be boxing. I guess that extra element of physically beating somebody is illustrative. But
you know, do you ever wear wife beaters? I wish they had a better name. I don't really want to call them a wife beater. Is there a different name? Can I say a white undershirt tank top?
I think if you buy them at the store, it says like tank top or something or undershirt. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't
I don't
say
wear
wife
them.
beater
I mean,
if you buy it at the store?
no,
Okay.
no, definitely not. I look like Slim Jesus when I wear a wife beater, so I avoid it. I don't wear them. Not a good look for me.
Yeah, you don't want to be Christ-like like Slim Jesus.
Yeah,
That's the wrong Christ to
wife
be like.
wife beating, not Christ-like.
So I've never had a wife beater, a white tank top undershirt in my whole life, and I bought a pack for this roll, this Halloween costume.
Hmm.
And I've been wearing this wife beater, and I hate calling it that, but that's what it's called.
You said it 19 times, so you don't need to slow down now. I hate calling it that.
I hate
You've already
calling
said
it this, but so I've been wearing this wife beater, and I feel tough. I feel like I have something to prove to my loved ones, maybe, and I feel physical. I feel more physical with the wife beater.
Mhm.
I feel like I mean business, and I'm talking turkey. And I'm walking around downtown with that's where I live, with my wife, my wife. For sure, I'm just gonna call it my wife.
Okay.
And I give people menacing looks, and then sometimes they give me menacing looks back, and I just double down on my menacing look, and I give them an extremely menacing look. And at that point, they're like, "This guy's a crazy person." So really, I feel intimidating, and I feel, I don't know, something about this shirt, something about this white tank top undershirt. It's just,
Empowering.
it's empowering.
Men's
I was gonna say
men's empowerment.
it's possessed me. I feel like a powerful man.
Yeah.
I feel like a super powerful
You look
man when I
powerful.
wear this. But I am going to be dressed as Hillary Swank in the movie $1 Million Baby for Halloween. And I could almost, if I could get a rolly bed, I could be, spoiler alert, I could be the character at the end of the movie.
Hmm.
But that would be, I would need you to roll me into the parties and stuff. And maybe you could go as a nurse. But I don't know. I might
could go
rub
as
people
Clint
the wrong
Eastwood.
way if I do that.
I could unplug you at the end of the night. Like, all right, everybody, we're leaving the party, and I just unplug you and you die, and I push you out of the party.
You'd be like, "Hey,
Wheel
everybody,
you
look
out.
at this." It'd be a good party trick.
Yeah, You got to do the payoff at the end.
Yeah, dude. You know, and one thing I'm planning on doing is when people ask me, well, I didn't even describe the whole costume, but I'm gonna go to like a barbershop or something and get my hair braided, like cornrows or something. I'm just gonna walk in there and say, "Hey, give me the $1 million baby from 2004."
They might just KO you though. You gotta figure out the right spot to go.
I think
that might be slang for something else too. You have to probably look that up before I ask a stranger to $1 million baby me, because you don't know what somebody's about to do. You ask that,
dude. And I like the idea of telling people, not telling people I'm Hillary Swank's character, just telling them $1 million baby, just like who are you supposed to be? $1 million baby. Kind of like. And I like, you know, because they're not going to know the character's name, and they might not even know the actress. So I think something's like funny about just saying the name of the movie. Kind of like if you call Christopher Martin of Coldplay, if you just referred to him as Coldplay,
you
know, like the Kanye song where he's like, you know, First, I got a song with Coldplay. Next thing I know, he got a song with Coldplay. I'm like, no way, Jose. Translation. No way. You know that song?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just feels like he's calling him Coldplay, and then.
Or if you called the guy from Tame Impala.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I do, because I don't know that guy's name. Do you know his name?
Yeah, me neither. No.
Well, yeah. I was watching this Cat Williams interview where he was talking about like musicians and stuff, and like he's like, what makes like people great? And he's like, you know, what makes 50 Cent great? What makes you know, Michael Jackson great? What makes, and then he brings up R. Kelly, which is like, but you know, this interview's like 20 years ago, but he's like, what makes R. Kelly great? You know, what makes Coldplay great? You know. And I just thought that was fun. He's like, he just called Christopher Martin Coldplay. So that's all I'm going to do with $1 Million Baby.
I'm interested to see, if you don't tell people what you are, I mean, you're a very tall white guy with long hair. You're going to have dreadlocks and braids or whatever, and a wife beater walking around.
Well, I'm also going to have
if you don't
gloves.
Introduce yourself.
I'm also going to have boxing gloves.
Okay.
But yeah. That if I didn't have boxing gloves, you know, that would be mysterious. But I'm gonna wear boxing gloves.
You'd be like the James Franco's character in Spring Breakers or whatever.
I thought about it. People are gonna say, "Oh, you riffraff," but it'd be like such a lazy riffraff costume.
A wife beater and cornrows. Also way out of date, dude. Vintage riffraff.
Yeah. But I feel like I look like Hillary Swank, just like naturally.
Yeah, like a relative.
Yeah, I look like. I mean, we're probably like related, distantly related, dude.
That's possible. I don't know. You've told me about your lineage before, so I mean, anything's possible. I mean, you don't have to go too far back in your history to find some colorful characters.
I am like distantly related to like John F. Kennedy and like Tom Cruise and shit. So like through like cousins of cousins of cousins. I found this. I gotta show you this website sometime, dude. It's crazy. But anywho,
cousins of cousins of cousins.com.
Yeah, it's also a Migos song. Cousins of cousins of cousins of cousins. Okay. Brandon, can you read a headline? You read all these headlines last episode, so I'm not gonna make you like read all of them again. But
can I real quickly? Can I ask you before I joined in the call? Were you already talking? Did you introduce me? People know who I even am, or am I just gonna be
my best friend from childhood?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, the first. Obviously, like we said, the first show got lost. But these are basically made up, just a string of like random events kind of in the style of like a newspaper headline, and we would send them back and forth to each other. Not just me and Luke, but kind of our whole friend group from high school and stuff.
Christopher
And
Lopez
they're
and Christian Lopez.
yeah, let's dox them again because that lot got lost. That got lost in the last recording, so let's do that. But they're just, I mean, I don't know. People will hear these, and I don't want people to think I'm like a psychopath. So we all wrote these. You know, these aren't all mine. I might read some other people's, but they're all kind of lost to time as to who wrote what. But here's one. Got a long list. Okay, I read this one last time, so it's a good one. Okay, Hasidic Jew, Dr. Dre lookalike, nervously rummaging through Kevin Hart's son's underwear drawer at 6 a.m. after just escaping from fat camp. Meanwhile, George Clooney's confident gay twin in a children's hot dog costume contemplates snapping his own neck on the back porch after listening to Ronda Rousey's gospel mixtape.
Dude, it's a headline, it's a story, it's a winding road. You know, there's a lot with each headline. There's a lot. You know, we call them headlines, but we could really call them wormholes.
Well, the length of the headline or whatever is part of the joke. It's like a Fall Out Boy song title or like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like they go on, and they're kind of supposed to just get funnier because it's not ending, and it like goes through another, and like the first half of the headline is just a description of the cover of a book that somebody else is reading, and so it's like, you know, it just, like you said, it's a wormhole. But it's a
journey.
It's a journey. They kill in front of, you know, the right inside group of people. That's the thing about this too. It's kind of like it had to be their inside joke thing. It's kind of percolated over 10 years, getting a headliner at 2 a.m. in the morning and fucking reading it half asleep. And did you want one more? I can do one more.
Yeah. Hit it.
All right. Also, they're offensive, some. So I think I should just couch that. And, you know, these might be 10 years old. I'm going to read one more. I want a really good one. I got about 50 right here in front of me. Okay, here we go. After just winning the World Tag Team Championships, Eminem's biracial gay dads are suddenly abducted by a Hispanic clone of the guy who invented bath salts, which then inspires a depressed Rivers Cuomo to demand an interracial gangbang on stage at the 1998 UN National Convention in southern Tokyo.
Man, there's a lot of humanity in that one.
Yeah. Humanity and inhumanity.
Dude, I'm watching this Seahawks-Steelers game.
I am too, dude. I'm shitting myself.
You know, I said fuck it with fantasy football. I'm just like betting on games.
Mm-hmm.
And
you overtook me.
Oh, am I playing you this week?
Full disclosure, me and Luke are matched up this week in fantasy.
I got Najee
and
Harris.
I was like 80 points ahead or something. And then Cowboys had this insane run at the end of the game.
And my whole fantasy team is just Cowboys. I'm like very obnoxious Cowboys fan in that regard.
Mm-hmm. I was at like 148, and Luke, I checked it with about, like, it was like the start of the fourth quarter in the Cowboys game, and Luke had like 90 points, and I had like 143 or something. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna win this no matter what. Like, I'm smooth sailing. And then the game ends. I went and got some food, went and got some Tom Kha guy at a Thai restaurant near me. Came back, I'm eating my food, checked my fantasy. You overtook me by like 8 points. So I need Tyler Lockett to score like 9 fantasy points in this game for me to win. And so far, I don't think he's done shit. But
well, because you got Geno Smith at QB. There's your problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have a lot of wide receiver depth on my bench, and all the guy. I have a lot of like uh, bust or boom kind of touch and go guys, and just gotta wait to see what happens.
Bust or boom. That's my sex life. Just kidding. My sex life is a, a past experience in my life.
Yeah, that chapter's closed.
Yeah, that's like the good old days, you know. Back when I used to get laid. I'm just dude. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm resorting back to my incel days. Well, like I feel like when I was a kid, I was an incel, but I was also like I just didn't want to have sex, and I was afraid of when I was like even like a teenager, like in high school, I was like afraid of sex, and just like kind of um not good at relationships and like not good at flirting or being affectionate or anything. Like I was like so bad, and I
Hmm.
was like kind of struggled with girls and stuff because you do want a girlfriend and stuff, but I was always pretty bad at that,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, and I kind of had my moment, a moment where I'm like dating a lot and like in my 20s, and now I just feel like, nah, that's not me. I hate dating, and like I'm just, you know, I'm an incel, dude. I know I
Well, dude,
what.
I mean, it's cliche, but it's like for me, everybody says this, but it's like when I was in junior high, I thought it was like, stressful and like whatever. And then I got to high school and I like, man, I miss junior high. And then I graduated high. I was like, high school sucks. Like all the fun has been had. And then graduated high school and then uh, went to college. And I was like, man, those days in high school, I still reminisce about high school shit. You know that. But, and then, moved to Denton. I kind of sort of went to college a little bit and like had a really like, you know, had a decent time in Denton, but I had a lot of like bad shit happen as well. And now I look back on Denton and I have this like rose tinted glasses syndrome where it's like I look back and I always remember it better than it was. So in other words, like I don't think it's over. Like we're both still super young. I mean, you could look
Yeah,
back when you're 30 and be like, man, I miss being 27 and getting no bitches. Who knows, dude?
dude, this is a good time in my life getting no bitches. It's
Yeah, I have a great
there's
time getting no
I'm
bitches.
not I'm having a great time getting no bitches. I'm wearing a wife beater. I'm not bathing a ton. My room is really messy. I'm well, let's not get into it. But I'm doing a lot of personal activities by myself in my room with just me
Hmm.
and not having sex with anybody besides myself. But anyways, um, dude, I
Yeah, dude,
bet.
and it's around. That's the thing. It's around the corner. It's like for every girlfriend that I've had or like interaction with a girl like that, spur of the moment, it's always been like literally it'll fall in my lap almost like figuratively and literally. Like I don't like grind for it. It'll just like come out of nowhere. I mean,
Figuratively,
and I'll go like two
literally,
years.
not only figuratively but figuratively.
Yeah, yeah.
Finger. She'll just jump on your fingers.
I'm not a fan of fingering, dude. I'm not a fan of that.
I like it when they hop like a bunny rabbit and just jump onto my fingers. I'm just like this with my fingers up in the sky and they just jump on my fingers.
All five of your.
Almost like a Super Mario Brothers 2 or something.
Yeah. At what point do you have to go past your knuckle to go from fingering to fisting? Because you have five fingers, right? So three fingers would be more than half. At that point, that's more than half your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I thought fisting has to be like starts as a fist, ends as a fist. penetrates through as a fist. You can't be like,
So if you put your whole hand all the way in and all the way out, that's the same thing, no? Is it just the volume,
well,
the
that's like
metric
that's
volume of
karate chopping.
that's just dipsticking. That's checking the old.
Checking the old.
Shout out to Kelly's dad, checking the old.
Dude, I've been just like, you know what I do? You know what my new job is? I'm a miser. I just count my money. I have a lot of money saved up. I got a lot of money in my Bitcoin. And dude, I've been betting on every Cowboys game, and they keep winning. I bet like $300 on this Cowboys game, and they won. That was a nail biter. And
Yeah,
then
dude, that was a nail biter.
from like the first quarter. It's crazy. And I took all that money and I put it on the Steelers. I have like $500 on the Steelers right now. But you know why?
They're winning, bro.
Partly why I put so much money on the Steelers is because like there was only 2 games today where the home team won. Like almost every game was away teams. So I'm like, I'm betting on the home team. Because away teams aren't supposed to win. That's how you smartly invest your money.
Yeah. Do the research. That's the thing. I think you get out of it what you put into it with fantasy. And I mean, I got really lucky the first time I ever played fantasy, and I kind of didn't know what I was doing and won enough games to get to the playoffs and then did pretty well. But I honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to like, people with the highest numbers. I wasn't playing matchups. I wasn't playing anything like that. I wasn't playing 40 chess, but I put a lot of work into this season, and I'm doing worse than I did when I didn't try. So maybe that disproves my point, but I think you get out what you put in, like as far as research and stuff with fantasy on a season-long level.
It's a lot
over
to
the
do
course
with
of the
luck. Because somebody's gonna get like a first-round draft pick, get like a season-ending injury, and you just gotta hope that's not you. It's gonna happen to somebody. But
Christian McCaffrey went down in week 3, and that was my whole team.
yeah,
I mean, I've lost 3. I was 2 and it ended my season, bro. So far, I haven't won a game since
back,
he went down.
Isn't he back this week already?
No, he's not back this week. They put him on IR like yesterday. He's been gone for 3 weeks, but he wasn't on IR, and then they put him on IR yesterday. And David Montgomery went down. He's on IR too. That was my RB1 and 2 week 1, and now they're both out. And I've been scrambling. I got Fournette though. I got some guys. I got Montgomery's backup. I got Chuba Hubbard. McCaffrey's backup. So I'm doing all right. Dude, I saw you played that running back for New England today, and I've been looking at our matchup all week, kind of planning my lineup. And he was supposed to be out, and I was like, I wonder if Luke just hasn't checked this.
Harris. I only like running backs with the last name Harris.
Or Elliott.
Yeah.
Do you I meant to ask you, do you release a video version of this podcast anywhere?
Yeah.
On YouTube or anything?
Yeah, I do.
Because you're like you're pretty dark in this feed right now. I don't know if that's an issue or if that's a concern to you.
Actually, it's like I messed up the video because I don't know how to. I'm not even in the video basically. Like, it's just you, and I made you all small, but I don't know. I guess I'll put this on YouTube. This is a weird episode for sure. No Luke Newman here. I think it's a good subtraction.
Well, you know what? Our first one, it had its ups and downs, but I feel like I used all my pre-prepared kind of canned bits in the first one.
Dude,
and now it's just you and me, and I can't just fake like I'm.
Well, that's good. That's good that you have that instinct that you don't want to rehash stuff, because I think that's how like podcasting can fail if it's not organic and if it's not genuine
Funny.
or whatever. it'll be disingenuous if you try to kind of rehash stuff. Even like the
Well,
few
that's what.
things I've rehashed already, like, have felt bad.
Well, like the headliner thing. I feel like that's good for a podcast if somebody's there that is experiencing it for the first time, like Newman was in the last episode, and he was kind of captivated by the idea,
Yeah.
kind of like was very interested in it. And now it's just you and me who know what headliners are and have probably heard all these. So,
My
but you make it for the we make it for the fans out there, all your Luke heads or whatever you
I
guys
was like
call your
way
fans.
way too. I was kind of drunk on that episode. I don't really want to. I definitely don't want to get the habit of doing that, where I'm like drunk on every episode. So, and I had a dream last night that Tom Hanks told me that I should never drink again. And I'm like
God
scared
damn
to.
it, dude.
I'm scared to drink again now. 'Cause
I probably wouldn't.
Tom Hanks has some movies where like he goes through some shit, and I just don't want to. I always thought like
What do you think?
I always thought
Go
I could
ahead.
not handle any situation the way Tom Hanks handles it in his movies. Like if I got cast away, I'd just cry.
Yeah, I love that movie, but I agree. I don't know, dude. I like I get in situations where like I give up so easily on things that I could just already do. Like I'll wash all my clothes or something, and then they'll sit in my laundry basket like clean for like 2.5 months. And I mean, dude, I could not survive on an island. I would just probably just give up, dude. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't relate to Tom Cruise in that way, or I mean Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise.
and another really impressive movie feat is Toy Story. I mean, he really had insurmountable odds that he went up against
Yeah,
as a toy.
Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2
There's more peril
again.
in Toy Story 2.
I mean, how did he get through that?
Yeah, they jumped the shark with Toy Story 2, man. They had to bring in like hell in the third one and like mortality. Like I only seen the third one once, but I remember they were about to be incinerated and they all like hold hands and they cry and they're toys and they're about to just be like melted down into like plastic.
That they did do hell. I forgot about
Pretty
that.
gnarly. I haven't seen the fourth one. I don't know what they do in the fourth one,
They
dude.
have
It's
a
probably it's I
plastic
mean,
fork. That's all. I never seen it either, but there's
yeah,
like a
I haven't seen the fourth one, but
arts and crafts toy.
did you turn your camera all the way off, or is it just actually that dark in
No,
your
it just got dark in
space?
here. I'm just,
I mean, it's literally black on my screen. Okay, there you are.
I'm like, yeah, dude. I've just been hanging out in my dark room lately. Like, I love not being unemployed, but every once in a while, I'm like, I just sit in my dark room and like bet on sports, and just like, I'm like taxi driver, except I'm not working out.
You could do the thing where people, you're already kind of doing it in a way, but you day trade. You wake up, make some trades like right when the market opens, sell at like 10 a.m., make like $50 a day per stock doing that on like 5 different stocks, and go back to bed, and then get up, work out, eat dinner.
I
That'd
kind
be
of
your day
am
job.
doing that a little bit. I've made some good plays, and the crypto's going up. I just don't know what I'm doing. I mean, that's why that's why I bet sports, because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I got pretty lucky with crypto, man. I started investing in April 2019, and I bought a bunch of just bullshit, not knowing what I was doing. And then, like, Robinhood exploded. That's like right when it was kind of blowing up. It's like people, there's always been stuff like that, E-Trade or whatever. But as far as like an app on your phone, like people who don't know what they're doing, throwing money at stuff, kind of was on the first wave of that. And then, obviously GameStop and everything blew up. Bitcoin blew up. I remember being like, holy shit, I'm going to like retire at like 26 or whatever, 25. Cause like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff like blew up in the summer 2019. And I was like $6,000 up, and I was like, I'm the man. And then it crashed, but I never sold.
I mean,
So,
I try not to check it every day, but it's going up now. It was going up like a couple days ago, like like almost an all-time high. But
Coming up.
it's there. Oh.
Well, hey, I have an idea. How about why don't you interview me for like 5 minutes
Okay.
so that there's a kind of a flow to this haphazard podcast. We can resurrect this from your dungeon. You can interview me.
Okay. Brandon, when did you meet Luke Moore?
First grade, so 2001.
September 11,
At Bowie.
2001?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say the school, but in West Texas where we met. Where we grew
The
up.
city of West Texas near Waco.
Yeah.
And what did you think of this Luke Moore character?
My earliest memory of you was probably like we were in this class and I remember you talking about having like a GameCube or having like an Xbox, the original Xbox or something, and being super jealous. And you're talking about how you and your brother play some game, maybe it was Halo or y'all
Jet
played
Set Radio
something. And I
Future.
remember just probably that. I don't know. Yeah. I remember being jealous and being like, man, I wish I had. That's like I said, I can't remember if it's a game. I think it was a GameCube. I remember being
It
jealous.
was Xbox.
Xbox. Yeah, that's what I said. Also, but yeah, that was my impression of you. That you had a cool thing that I wanted, and then obviously I thought you were super funny. Thought you were.
Well, just letting you know, that Xbox was better than anything you had at the time, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you were
in
correct.
64, dude.
You were correct to be jealous.
Be jealous. Yeah. I'm always right, dude. When I'm jealous, it's like, yeah, of course. But I mean, I don't remember thinking. I mean, you get it a lot that you're tall, but I don't remember being like, Luke is tall, because we were in first grade, and I think that it was like, yeah, I don't know how tall you were in first grade, probably like
Dude.
4'8" or something.
We met in first grade, but we were never in the same class, just the same grade. And one of the earliest times I remember interacting with you, which I think this was like in fourth grade, where I teamed up with you in music and arts class, and we did a word search together, and you said, I'm probably the best guy in this class at word searches, so you're really lucky to have me as a partner. And I thought, all right, I'm with it. But I'm with it, and he's probably right, because this class is probably, everyone's like stupid in this class probably, but but I kind of not liking this guy from like the arrogance or the cockiness. I don't know, just it rubbed me the wrong way. I thought definitely not liking this Brandon guy for the kind of being a little too confident on the word search ability. But you proved to be good at word searches. But I just thought, not liking this guy.
Yeah, I mean, that was my just innate desire to be like, look at what I'm good at. I don't know. When you're a kid, it's just like what you do, isn't it? You just
you want to
you
be
have
the
like
very
limited
best,
skills.
Like no one ever was. We were all taught that.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Classic anime.
We were both Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. That's another. I remember talking to you about Yu-Gi-Oh! And one time at PE, third or fourth grade, I was walking. We were do one run, walk, and jog, and I was walking with you. And the whole time you talked about this Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game that you had that I did not have. And I just
Forbidden memories, dude.
And I just let you talk about you said, yeah, I like to combine this one guy, because there's a card that you can combine two monsters. And you're like, I combine this guy with this guy. And so it becomes like a centaur. Because it's like this night guy on a whatever, and it's like a centaur. And I thought it was pretty interesting sounding, but I didn't have that game. I never played it. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy, but that was another memory. And then I remember when we finally got in a class together, they finally let me in the gifted program, because they wouldn't let me in the fourth grade gifted program. But I have a conspiracy about that, where the stupid teacher who I tested with to get into the gifted school, she messed up my shit. But do you remember that fucking teacher?
I do. I remember. Yeah, I've heard you air this
evil,
grievance.
right? She's kind of sinister, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of a bad person.
We all had our own. We all had our own perspectives. Yeah, I definitely wasn't like a fan of hers or anything.
She's an evil person, and so I finally got in the gifted school, and I sat next to you, and the first time we ever had a class, and I think we started getting along on the bus ride to school, and then we found out we're in the same class, and it's just like, I mean, that first day of gym, we called it, that was like magic, dude. And we got along ever since, and you know, I always thought you were really funny, and I wanted you to do comedy, and you're like, no, I'm just going to be a normal person with a healthy appetite for attention. And I said, all right, suit yourself. Then here I am unsuccessfully doing comedy in Oakland. For some reason, I ended up here. It's very surreal. I don't get how I ended up in Oakland. But anyways, whatever.
You got to keep interviewing me.
All right.
For like a minute. I don't know how much longer you want to go.
I'm kind of scared about the audio. I feel like I'm messing up the audio again. I kind of
you froze. You froze earlier, like just now, like maybe 30 seconds ago, and I exited, and then came back in, and then you were good to go. So I don't know if that was me or you, but it's just scuffed.
We gotta wrap it up, but I'll ask a couple more questions.
Okay, rapid fire questions here.
So, do you remember when I used to ride my bike all the way to your fucking house?
Yeah.
Like in the summer or what? Like it would just be like 100
You mean when I moved? Because
Yeah,
I used to live like a mile from you or less, and then I moved like 4 miles away, and you ride your bike through town.
Like across Wadley and the Garfield and all that.
Yeah, through several major intersections, an entire college campus, like busy streets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Long
dude.
distance.
I've always made these sacrifices to hang out with you because I thought you were a very nice guy. You're good at word searches.
Is that your rapid fire interview question? Do you remember when I used to ride my bike to your house?
Yes.
Yes,
okay,
I do.
Next question.
All right.
I'm
Is there a yes or no interview question?
worried about my audio. Hold on. Dude. Okay.
We should do one of these in person where we can actually riff without like.
Oh, that would require you coming to visit me.
You're about to be here in a week, dude, or whatever,
I'm not
2
gonna bring
weeks or something.
podcast equipment. You gotta come here, dude. I rode my bike to your house. You gotta return the favor and ride a plane to my house. It's only right.
Rode a plane. All
right, so when you went to a different junior high than me, in California we call them middle schools, but in Texas they're called junior high schools. Which I disagree with politically. Sorry, Tex. But California knows what middle school should be called. And they're middle schools. But when we went to different middle schools, that was pretty, how was that? Was that tough for you, to not go to middle school with your best friend Luke?
Man, honestly, it was because I'd gone to the same elementary school. Is that what y'all call them in California? Y'all call them beginning school?
No, we call them primary.
First school?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, they call them elementary. Elementary, actually.
It was weird. I went to the same elementary school for 5 years, and then I moved in the middle of 5th grade to a different school and didn't have any friends at my new school, and was definitely weird because I don't know. I mean, we still.
Here comes this kid in a brand new school. Doesn't know anybody. He's really good at word searches. You know.
I didn't really make friends in 5th grade. I made friends with a couple people at that new school, but they didn't really last. It's weird though. People aren't going to understand this, but we still went to school together, even though we didn't.
We
Like
went
when I
to
moved schools in 5th grade.
The gifted douchebag school.
Yeah, we got bused Wednesdays and Thursdays every week to a different school in the ghetto, like in the farthest you could possibly be from where I moved to. It took like 45 minutes to get to school. And yeah, I went to like smart kid school where we like did like archaeology class and like fucking oceanography and photography and
back when schools were segregated, you know, in like the 50s for the rest of the country, but like the 70s for West Texas. There was an old colored school, and then they renovated it into a gifted school. Once they integrated kids, then they made the gifted program.
But it's still segregated though.
Yeah, they only let white kids in the gifted program. And that's where
they kept the true spirit of that school was kept alive when they reopened it. And
segregation
only allowed certain kids.
Remained, yeah. And
yeah.
That's why I didn't fit in, dude. Cuz I was politically a Californian even at that time. But
I loved it though.
I actually did not like it, dude.
I loved it, man. I mean, it was hard. It was like, but the thing was, it was like, you can't really fail. It was like I got 2 days off a week. It's like, oh, you didn't do your fucking project, and I'm like, this isn't real school. Like, my grades don't count here. It doesn't matter. Like, I might have at least 1 year to goof off if I want. Maybe they won't bring me back the next year, but you know, get 2 days off a week, basically. But I mean, I did never get kicked out, but it always felt like they didn't really have any teeth.
I remember being like, dude, I hate this new school that I'm going to, but I also hate my old shitty home school, my other elementary. Like I remember
that's elementary school for those of us in Texas.
I remember just hating both and having to go back and forth, double the schools, double the pain. And you get back to your elementary school, and then they'd be like, "Oh, we did all this work while you were gone, so you have to catch up." And
here's a test on what we learned 2 days that you weren't here.
And the gifted kids were so like snooty about it. They're so arrogant, and I know that because I didn't get into the gifted school in 4th grade. So like all these people come back from the gifted school, and they'd be so cocky and arrogant, you know. And I hated.
You're just shooting on me right now. I feel like.
No, I'm not naming names, but there's some other people, you know. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the word search. You're very, very, you know, very into yourself for being good at word searches. But you know what? You were good at word searches. So.
I finished them first every time. So. Kind of undisputed king of that. To this day, probably.
Well, you got a good vocabulary
better than anybody that
too.
Graduated.
I gotta say the missing deleted episode, your vocabulary was off the charts on that one. This time around, vocabulary, not impressive, but just so you know, listeners, normally pretty impressive coming from this guy. Last episode, he dropped the word apropos. What else did you drop last episode?
Road.
Well, you said some word that we kept on repeating. But anyways, do you have any other questions you want me to ask you? I don't know, man.
Best interview, man. These podcasts are you're killing it with these podcasts.
Okay.
I feel jealous, man, because there haven't been any big laughs on this episode. I feel like we had at least like 2 on the other one that I did, and then Colton killed it, man. I can't do worse than Colton.
We'll have you on again, man. Okay.
We'll do one in person, man. We'll whether by hook or by crook. We'll do one in person one day.
We'll talk about like high school next time. All right.
You froze again.
I'm gonna stop the podcast.
You are.
All right, bye. I love you.
Okay, bye. Bye. I love you.